Let's dive into some products. We have a few things here. This is all from one particular brand, Wasserstein or Stein. I don't know which. I'll go with whatever you want to do with here.
Wasserstein?
Wasserstein it is.
Seems like. But yeah, this is all stuff that's made to use with your Nest system.
Yeah, so this, I did look at their website to see they provide a whole bunch of accessories for different ecosystems. So if you've got an Arlo or you have some other type of security system or camera or doorbell, they make accessories for those to kind of give you a little bit more flexibility out of them. One of the things for Google Nest with the cameras, and I've seen more recently on headlines of things like the doorbell, is that it doesn't work. The battery goes quicker in this really cold weather than what it initially thought it would be. But one of the things that you run into with cameras is you've got to change your battery.
Right.
Unless you've got a hardwired one or you're an indoor camera, you've got to go out there and change that battery or charge it every so often. So that's kind of a pain point, especially in the middle of the winter when you go out and it's, around here it's 6 degrees, right? Or tomorrow it's 60, whatever. But so here's one in particular product that you've got, the solar panel for the Google Nest Cam.
Yeah. So this solar panel it's interesting because it doesn't look like most solar panels. There's no like cross grid. Like you can see it underneath if you hold it in the right light, but it's just a solid black. So that's kind of a cool look. And then you got your connector that it just slides into here, and then you have your screw to tighten for whatever swivel when you mount it on your house. And it comes with the
screws and anchors,
and then a couple of pre-adhesed cable management.
Yep.
So if you want to, and this looks like a very long cable,
13 feet.
It's a good amount of cable.
Yeah. So for me, I have one of these cameras, and I have to get up there to get it down, and it has a proprietary little plug.
Right.
So this cable has that adapter on it. These are official, like made for Google Nest products. So these are not some generic knockoff company or somebody trying to piggyback off of somebody else. I would love the 13-foot cable,
right?
Because where I have the camera isn't always in the sun,
right?
Because it kind of the way the house folds,
right?
And I kind of watch over a certain area. So for something like that, I can
put it somewhere else,
right? So I can plug directly into the camera, run it up around the corner, and then I can have that thing pointing at the sky,
perfect,
to pick up the sun.
So you won't have to change the battery anymore.
And you don't have to change the battery anymore. So that is
pretty awesome.
Premium solar panel for the Google Nest Cam. That guy runs about $74 to $80, I think, on their website.
Okay. I mean, that's very similar to an extra battery for almost anything else you would use.
Yeah, an extra battery and charger that you kind of swap out on a regular basis.
It's very well made. It's all enclosed, so you're not going to have any problem with moisture or anything like that.
Yep.
Very cool.
What you got next?
Well, we have next is the angled stand with swivel, and this is for a Nest Hub Max.
All right.
You have the hub, right?
I do. My whole house is set up with Google stuff.
Nice.
Save for one Alexa product that
we don't speak of.
We don't speak of, and we hate when she picks us up because we're not talking to her ever. So yeah, this guy's made for the Nest Hub Max, and you can see that basically it's a riser that keeps your hub up. So instead of sitting there...
Well, it gives you some swivel, too.
Gives you some swivel. Does it have any angle to it?
Yep.
So
it's got a little bit of angle. It's really nice because, now I will say this, the feel of this is not as tight as I would hope.
Okay.
But maybe that's because the weight of the Max would... help balance that out.
Right. it's a 25-degree tilt, according to their website, and a 360 rotation.
Okay.
And then you can see, of course, on the bottom, that's got some cord management.
Yeah, some nice cable management stuff.
Yeah, you plug that in. I've had similar things for some of the older generation, and these are nice because you can kind of move this in a place that sits in a corner a little bit better than just actually on the ground.
Yep.
And it keeps, if you have spills or anything like that, this kind of gives you
a little bit of safe.
1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches up to keep that from getting wet.
It does have some pre-installed adhesive for the back to help keep your hub up here secure, so that's cool. No matter which way you tilt it, I could see if it wasn't attached, if you go to tilt it down a little bit, you could maybe pull it off. But that's cool. It's a sweet idea for a desk setup or a kitchen, especially.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that's
cool
where
idea.
My first one was in the kitchen. Kind of had it up that kind of tilted around our stove. So instead of being like snug against the wall, we kind of had this base and up, kind of tilted at us. So we're kind of like looking maybe down a little bit at it. So that guy runs about $26 to $30.
Not bad.
26 to $28, I think, on their website.
Okay.
And it comes in. This is like a gray, and then it also comes in a charcoal.
Nice.
So that definitely matches the same color.
Yeah.
And the aesthetics of what Google has on theirs.
Right.
Chalk. That's the color.
Chalk.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a good weight too. It's not too heavy. Next up, we have an adjustable stand for the Nest Hub 2nd gen. So slightly smaller.
Pretty much the same premise here.
Same idea.
Yep. So the Nest Hub 2nd gen is the guy that I believe is the one that had the sleep sensing and some of that newer tech. This guy is, he is a smaller, designed, for bedrooms, countertops, not obviously as big, but just as practical for people.
Absolutely.
So if you've got one of the smaller ones, the Nest Hub, same premise here. So this one is going to run about $25 on their website.
Also comes in the charcoal color as well as this chalk.
Yep.
Still got cable management on the bottom and some adhesive strips up top to keep it in line. And I will say that this does feel stronger.
Doesn't have as much.
Feels a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
So
I wonder if that's something you can tighten.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see a spot for a screw on the bottom, but it's noticeably different size. Not that bad, really, but it's almost like identical products, just shrunk down.
You got one more, right?
Got one more. This one's cool because it's one of those things that I never really thought of, but it would make sense to the right person. This is a wall plate for your doorbell. Kind of makes it a little bit more
aesthetically pleasing up front.
Yeah. So if you're familiar with changing your doorbell at all, sometimes if you're taking off your old one, you're going to run into a hole. Maybe they cut if you have an aluminum wrapped front door or something, there's a hole, and then your Nest doorbell or whatever doorbell is smaller than what was there before, and it just looks unsightly.
Faded, if there's like a fade from over time.
What this does is just a faceplate that covers it up to keep it just hidden. Any old inner workings hidden.
Buys about a 3/4 of an inch or so extra around it.
Yep.
So it goes against the wall, and then you mount your doorbell on top of that.
Yep. And it's got a perfect spot. Same, the holes line up in the same spot as the Nest mounting holes.
Yep.
It's all the same. So it's just an extra piece that goes in when you're putting it together. There's no extra installation needed, which I think is why it's such a cool thing.
Yep.
So it just works.
That guy runs about $13.
Not bad.
Yeah. So definitely worth it if you're coming home every day and you're staring at some kind of a couple of scuff marks around your old spot.
And you don't want to repaint
tighter.
everything, or it's just, hey, this is an easy fix to make it just look better.
Yeah. So these are all from Wasserstein, we agreed on.
Yep.
Again, if you look at their website, you're going to see all kinds of stuff. They've got indoor, outdoor cameras.
Yep.
They have stuff for wired and wireless devices, Google Nest, Amazon Alexa, or the Echo Show. Thermostats, pretty much, if you have one of those types of smart devices and you're looking to kind of accessorize or maybe get a little bit more flexibility out of it, definitely check out their website. We'll have that link in the description. I don't want to spell it out, but it's Wasserstein-home.com. So,
cool.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.